Nestle, a Swiss multinational food and beverage company, is one of the most recognized brands globally. Its products, ranging from dairy items, baby food, pet food, confectionaries, to bottled water, are available worldwide. However, the company has often been in the spotlight for several controversies, particularly in relation to its involvement in the chocolate industry. Chocolate is a beloved treat around the globe, but the realities behind its production are often bitter. The chocolate industry has long been criticized for its unethical practices, particularly child labor, deforestation, and farmer exploitation. Nestle, being one of the largest chocolate producers, is at the center of these debates. One of the most prominent controversies Nestle faces concerns the use of child labor in its cocoa supply chains. The majority of the world's cocoa supply comes from West Africa, specifically the Ivory Coast and Ghana. There, children, under hazardous conditions, participate in the labor-intensive process of cocoa farming. They are involved in every stage, from planting, harvesting, and splitting cocoa pods to drying the beans. In 2001, following exposés of child labor in cocoa production, the chocolate industry, including Nestle, committed to eradicating child labor in their supply chains by signing the Harkin-Engel Protocol, also known as the Cocoa Protocol. However, 2 decades later, the use of child labor in cocoa farming remains a significant issue. Reports suggest that hundreds of thousands of children continue to work in cocoa production in West Africa, raising questions about the effectiveness of the industry's efforts and its commitment to eradicating child labor. Nestle has publicly acknowledged the issue and has initiated programs such as the Nestle Cocoa Plan to tackle child labor within its supply chain. This initiative aims to improve the lives of cocoa farmers and their communities, primarily through training and better farming practices. However, critics argue that the problem persists, with reports still surfacing about child labor in farms supplying Nestle and other major chocolate manufacturers. Another controversial aspect of Nestle's involvement in the chocolate industry is the environmental impact of its cocoa supply chain. Cocoa farming is a significant driver of deforestation in West Africa. This is because many farmers, in their quest for more productive land, clear forests to plant cocoa trees. Nestle, in response to these environmental concerns, has pledged to make its cocoa supply chain deforestation-free. The company has partnered with several organizations to promote sustainable farming practices and forest conservation among cocoa farmers. However, environmental activists argue that much more needs to be done to halt deforestation in cocoa production. Furthermore, Nestle, like many other large corporations in the cocoa industry, has faced criticism over the low incomes of cocoa farmers. Despite the value that chocolate brings to the global economy, many cocoa farmers live in poverty. The price paid for cocoa beans often does not cover the costs of sustainable production, pushing farmers into a cycle of poverty and leading to social issues such as child labor and deforestation. Nestle has implemented measures to address this, such as paying premiums for sustainably produced cocoa and investing in farmer training. Nonetheless, critics argue that these measures fall short of what is necessary to lift cocoa farmers out of poverty. The issues surrounding Nestle's involvement in the chocolate industry shed light on the broader complexities of global food supply chains. They highlight the difficulties in ensuing ethical practices with intricate, multi-layered systems that span multiple countries and involve numerous stakeholders. While Nestle has taken steps to address these challenges, the ongoing controversies underline the need for continuous efforts and industry-wide changes to ensure a truly sustainable and ethical cocoa supply chain. It's crucial to note that Nestle's challenges in ensuring an ethical cocoa supply chain are not unique. They are shared by most large chocolate manufacturers. This shared challenge underlines a systemic issue in the global cocoa supply chain, which goes beyond the scope of any single company. Nevertheless, as one of the largest players in the industry, Nestle's role in addressing these issues is significant. The controversies Nestle faces are in stark contrast to the image of chocolate as a sweet, indulgent treat. For many consumers, awareness of these controversies has led to calls for greater transparency and accountability in the chocolate industry. Consumers increasingly want to know where their food comes from and under what conditions it is produced. In response to this demand, Nestle and other chocolate manufacturers have started to provide more information about their cocoa supply chains. However, there's a growing consensus that providing information is not enough. Consumers and advocacy groups are demanding action to address the systemic issues that lead to unethical practices in cocoa production. These issues include poverty among cocoa farmers, lack of access to education, and weak enforcement of labor laws. Addressing these issues requires collaborative efforts that involve companies, governments, NGOs, and consumers. Despite the criticisms and ongoing controversies, it's important to recognize the efforts Nestle has made in addressing the issues in its cocoa supply chain. The company has shown a willingness to engage with these issues and has invested in initiatives to improve the sustainability and ethics of its cocoa production. However, the persistent challenges underline the need for continuous, collaborative efforts to effect meaningful change in the global cocoa supply chain. It is a complex task, but one that Nestle, as a significant player in the chocolate industry, is positioned to lead. The controversies surrounding Nestle's involvement in the chocolate industry illustrate the complexities of maintaining ethical and sustainable practices in global supply chains. They highlight the need for businesses, governments, and consumers to work together to create a food system that is fair, sustainable, and transparent. The ongoing nature of these controversies also underscores the need for continuous vigilance and commitment to improvement, not just by Nestle, but by all stakeholders in the chocolate industry. The journey of cocoa from the farm to the delightful chocolate bars that consumers enjoy globally is complex and fraught with numerous ethical and environmental challenges. Nestle, as one of the largest chocolate producers worldwide, finds itself at the epicenter of these challenges. Child labor, deforestation, farmer exploitation, and environmental degradation are just some of the issues that have cast a shadow over the company's operations in the chocolate industry. In response, Nestle has undertaken numerous initiatives to address these challenges and improve its cocoa supply chain sustainability. From the Nestle Cocoa Plan to partnerships with certification organizations and local communities, the company has striven to align its operations with growing consumer demand for ethically produced and sustainably sourced products. However, despite these efforts, the controversies persist, underscoring the systemic nature of these issues and the need for industry-wide solutions. Such solutions require a collaborative approach involving all stakeholders in the chocolate industry, including businesses, governments, NGOs, and consumers. Together, they hold the key to transforming the cocoa industry into a model of sustainable and responsible production that benefits everyone, from the cocoa farmers in West Africa to the chocolate lovers worldwide. As Nestle continues its efforts to improve its cocoa supply chain, it serves as a case study of the challenges and opportunities that large corporations face in aligning their operations with the principles of ethical business and sustainable development. It is a testament to the fact that businesses have an integral role to play in creating a more equitable and sustainable world, a role that goes far beyond profit-making to include taking care of people and the planet.